So, who are the smartest kids in the world? And how exactly did they get to be that way? Why look any farther for the answer to these questions than in the book, The Smartest Kids in the World and How They Got to Be That Way by Amanda Ripley? Amanda Ripley is a literary journalist where her stories on public policy and human behavior have made national appearances. She states on the first page of her book that she often tried to avoid writing about education. That was the case up until she began researching education in new ways. Her biggest question that she went forward to find the answer to was, why were some kids learning so much and others so little? Through the book, Ripley focuses on four main countries throughout the world: Finland, Poland, Korea, and the United States, to answer this question. Ripley follows three students who take the journey to study abroad in each of these countries and documents their experiences that they have in her book. She begins the book by talking about how students are actually assessed in becoming the smartest kids in the world. She goes to explain that the students around the world take a standardized test unlike any other test called the PISA exam. The PISA exam was created by a German scientist named Andreas Schlechter. Schlechter actually studied physics at the University of Hamburg in Germany, but worked alongside a self-proclaimed educational scientist by the name of Thomas Naval Postlethwaite to create the PISA exam. Ripley goes to explain that the PISA exam, created by these two scientists, was different from any other standardized test, as it did not assess students on what they had memorized in school, but rather revealed which students around the world could think critically and solve new problems. Ripley quotes Schlechter when he talks about his goals for the PISA exam. He states, "We were not looking for answers to equations or to multiple choice questions, but rather we were looking for the ability of students to think creatively." Through the book, you follow along with Ripley, three students on their journey from the American education system to that of one of the top scorers of the PISA exam. You learn of some similarities of different countries, but also of many differences between the different school systems. The first student that you follow is a 16-year-old girl named Kim on her journey to study abroad with the smartest kids in the world according to the PISA exam in Finland. So, why are kids of Finland so smart? This should be a question that any future teacher anywhere in the world should be asking themselves. They don't spend more on education than the United States, so what makes these kids so much smarter? Well, in fact, the teachers. In America, teaching programs are seen as an easy major at many institutions. What Finland did was reboot their education system by rebooting their teachers' training colleges. Teachers' training colleges became prestigious, rigorous, and a ton more selective. So maybe the problem in America isn't how dumb our students are, but rather how dumb our teachers are. Ripley creates the argument that America wants the prestige and readiness of Finland's teachers, but doesn't want to believe that our teachers have to actually be highly educated. Her argument is maybe the first step in getting America's education system to a level that can compete with some of the smartest kids in the world. In the book 50 Myths and Lies That Threaten American Public Schools, even Victor Diaz, a full-time staff member To Teach for America, says that the culprit of why the United States is losing its place in the world education battle is that our teachers don't know the subjects that they are supposed to teach or how to teach them. So throughout the book, you kind of learn maybe it's more of a teacher problem than it's a student problem. So throughout the book, Smartest Kids in the World and How They Got There, you actually learn where are the smartest teachers in the world and how they got to get the students to be the smartest students in the world.